In the beginning, the Hollywood studio system created the monster movie, or at least popularized it, for from the 1930s, the monster movie has been a staple film genre beloved by many around the world. In films by genre, Daniel Lopez describes monster movies as films that, quote, deal exclusively with monsters which have in most cases malevolent intentions and prey on human life and property. Due to their generally maleficent nature, movie monsters frequently reflect the predominant fears of their creators' societies, whether they are intended to or not. For example, the creatures of classical Hollywood films often represented various minorities, embodying white Americans' fears of decolonization, desegregation, and miscegenation. Of course, it did not take long for audience members, especially those of marginalized groups, to notice this trend and hunger for an alternative monster movie narrative. Enter Guillermo del Toro. A modern Mexican filmmaker, Del Toro has made a myriad of monster movies that subvert the genre in order to challenge colonialist narratives surrounding race and imperialism. His most recent and arguably overt inversion of the Hollywood monster movie narrative would be his 2017 The Shape of Water, a film that is in part a deliberate retelling of the universal classic The Creature from the Black Lagoon. In The Creature from the Black Lagoon, a group of scientists travel to the Amazon, where they are terrorized by an amphibious humanoid who they ultimately kill. As with most monster movies of the classical Hollywood era, the film ends not only with the creature's condemnation, but also with the, usually white, male lead getting the, again, usually white women the creature longed for. The Shape of Water subverts this narrative, changing the characters and their various fates in order to reflect the Latin American experience with colonialism, immigration, and integration. It first subverts the Hollywood monster movie by questioning who the film's true monster is. In The Creature from the Black Lagoon, the creature is a murderous menace. However, in The Shape of Water, while he is certainly portrayed as powerful and potentially dangerous, his violence is contextualized by the abuse he suffers at the hands of Strickland. He garners even further sympathy when it is made clear he suffers from having been displaced from his home in the Amazon. Thus, the creature is coded as a victim of colonialism, removed from his native land where he was free, accepted, and loved, to one where he is caged and treated as an abomination, whose only value lies in his ability to further the endeavors of his colonizers. As the film progresses, the creature morphs from a pitiable figure to a lovable one through his interactions with Eliza and her friends, who are able to see the full extent of his beauty, from his external physique to his internal intelligence and healing powers. These powers are central to Del Toro's rewriting of the colonial narrative, as they not only confirm that the creature is naturally special and worth admiration and love, but also that he is resilient and can overcome the adversity and trauma of colonization. While the creature of The Creature from the Black Lagoon is shot at the film's end, destined to sink to a watery grave, this creature heals his wounds, kills his colonizer, and is given a happy ending with his true love, Eliza. Thus, the creature is no monster at all. Rather, Strickland, the handsome white male who would have been the victorious leading man in a classical Hollywood-era film, is. In The Shape of Water, Strickland clearly plays the role of the colonizer. Solely preoccupied with protocol and power, Strickland strives to become a man of the future by asserting dominance over everyone, especially those he perceives as others, such as Eliza, Delilah, and the creature. Strickland carries out his colonialist intentions in two clear ways. First, he is cruel, oppressing others through physical violence. Second, and more importantly, however, he refuses to communicate. At first, it seems Strickland doesn't communicate with others because he thinks they are beneath him, particularly regarding intelligence. However, as the film progresses, it becomes clear Strickland refuses to communicate with others because he doesn't want to listen to what others have to say. Take this scene here.
You know, I can't figure it out myself. You're not much to look at, but go figure. I keep thinking about you. When you say you're mute, are you entirely silent, or You squawk a little. Some you squawk, not pretty.
I just want you to know,
I don't mind those scars. I don't mind that you can't speak either. When you come right down to it, I like it. A lot. Kind of gets me going.
This scene with Eliza is important not only because it bolsters Strickland's colonialist nature by demonstrating his awareness that silence is the surest way to subjugate others, but also because it plays a large role in The Shape of the Water's last key inversion of the Hollywood monster movie, the inversion of the role of the leading lady and her relationships with the man and the monster. In her video essay, My Monster Boyfriend, film scholar Lindsay Ellis discusses film historian Fatima Tobing-Roney's analysis of the creature from the Black Lagoon, which notes that the film's narrative is driven by the creature's attraction to and pursuit of the female lead, and the hero's resulting need to protect her. The Shape of Water completely upends this narrative by giving the female lead agency, which she expresses by choosing to pursue the creature rather than vice versa, ultimately saving him from the male lead, whom she rejects. However, Eliza not only rejects the colonialist narrative by loving the displaced creature, but also by discovering and accepting her own roots. Throughout the film, Eliza is a displaced person herself, as an orphan unaware of the origins of her family and her disability. However, at the end, in a magic realist moment, the creature reveals that they were destined to be together by turning the scars that presumably inhibit her voice into gills. Thus, Eliza, whose last name it is worth noting is Esposito, can be seen as a sort of displaced Latin immigrant in American society who has found her origins in place with the creature. Yet while they are connected by the Latin roots, they also share another, broader home, water. For water is life-giving, free-flowing, and all-encompassing, the ultimate metaphor for empathy, acceptance, and above all, love.